If you're ever looking for a stronger example of the moral depravity of the progressive left in Canada, look no further than the Canadian Union of Public Employees Ontario, who's defending their current president, Fred Hahn, after supporting Hamas, basically killing Jewish people in Israel. It all started when he started retweeting and liking posts from CUPE Local 3906, who was openly posting in favor of Hamas breaking down the barriers between Gaza and southern Israel in order to send in militants to kill random Jewish people in their homes and at different music festivals. There's also visitors from other countries who are Jewish who are just killed too because the terrorists don't really give a crap at all about who they're targeting. They just want death and destruction. Now, again, despite the fact that CUPE Ontario and all these other progressive public sector unions always make it out that they're very tolerant and they care about ethics and, ideas matter and ethics matter and we can't, they don't support capitalism because of all the bad stuff that supposedly comes from capitalism. They're totally fine with people openly wanting to kill Israelis, because I guess Israel is a wealthy country because, they actually build stuff and take part in industry. And I guess that means that Gaza are the good guys, the Hamas government in Gaza are the good guys because they're poor and I guess put upon. It's a complete lie. But Fred Hahn has been posting stuff like this, absolute anti-Semitic lies that somehow Israel took Palestine from the Palestinians and been slowly squeezing them further and further. Funny enough, how the Palestinian population keeps going up in Gaza and the West Bank. It's almost like Israel isn't killing anyone. They even provide free electricity and water to them, and only recently turned it off while they're sieging Gaza to remove the Hamas terrorists. You aren't exactly a genocidal state if you are providing basic necessities to the Palestinian people that their own government won't provide them. Completely and utterly disgusting. Fred Hahn's also sharing posts like this whole "from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free," which is a genocidal which is a genocidal slogan. You are basically saying from the river Jordan, like the Red Sea, to the sea, to the sea, we want no more Jews there. We want Israel wiped out. And to go back to this chart, the idea that somehow Israel is occupying the land of Palestine and setting up shop as Israel in this country, it's completely disgusting. It's a complete lie. One, it was the Great Britain's territory. They had taken it from the Turks, those people who were murdering Armenians in World War I. They won the territory from them and they could do whatever they wanted with it. Literally, the Palestinian, the richest families in Palestine during World War II were supportive of the Nazis and tried to overthrow the British government who was sort of, ruling over Palestine at the time. And when that attack failed, because they were trying to take over Palestine so they could start murdering all the Jews in Palestine in solidarity with the Nazis, obviously the British weren't going to hand over Palestine to those psychopaths. So then they partitioned the land to have both an Israeli Jewish state as well as Muslim Palestinian states in Jordan and other areas like Lebanon. It was completely fair, but that's not good enough because I guess there's Jews who still live in Israel, and as long as there's a single Jew who lives in Israel, there will always be terrorism from these hateful, disgusting Islamist groups, which Fred Hahn apparently supports. Again, Fred Hahn, a gay man who, if he stepped foot in Gaza, would be dead. That I'm not trying to be rude or direct about that. That's just how it would be. Literally, if anyone stepped into Gaza who wasn't openly supporting Hamas and a Muslim, would pretty much die. And it even depends on what kind of Muslim you are. That's how disgusting these people are. They will kill their own people unless they share the exact ideas and values of them. But CUPE Ontario legitimately came out and they backed Fred Hahn's disgusting idea that somehow by him retweeting and liking posts about Palestinian terrorists, these Hamas terrorists entering southern Israel to kill Jews, that's resistance. Yesterday, Fred Hahn on Thanksgiving posted, as we all think about reasons to be thankful this Thanksgiving, I know I'm thankful for the power of workers, the power of resistance around the globe, because resistance is fruitful, and no matter what some might say, resistance brings progress, and for that I'm thankful. Disgusting. That was obviously directed at the people who were calling him out for supporting Hamas terrorism. Again, CUPE Ontario, a supposedly deeply progressive institution. But CUPE Ontario, on its own platform, on its own Twitter page, I should actually bring it up right now, it backed his play and basically said that we stand with we stand with Fred Hahn supporting resistance or whatever. I'll bring up the post right here. I didn't prepare it ahead of time. I'm sorry. But yeah, like these are the people who think that you're racist. These are the people who will call you racist, homophobic, transphobic. They're the people who think parental rights are extreme. It's people who support women and children and the elderly being murdered in southern Israel and think that it's actually Israel's fault that all this is happening. But yeah, like they posted this like tweet saying, hope for a just and lasting peace that offers security and freedom for everyone in Palestine and Israel. This fervent desire is at the heart of CUPE Ontario and the ISC's call for justice, and it joins us to the global solidarity movement fighting for the rights of all peoples. The best way of fighting for the rights of people in Palestine is removing organizations like Hamas, Islamic Jihad, and the Palestinian Authority. Israel is the only state on this planet providing them water and electricity. It's like the Hamas has been in power since 2006 in Gaza. If they want to make their own desalination plants, if they want to have their own electricity generators, they could do it. They don't because they spend all their money on weapons in order to try and kill Jews. They literally, I think it was the UK, donated, or it was Germany, donated a bunch of water piping to Gaza so they could create their own sources of water so they wouldn't have to rely on Israel, and they use the pipes to try and create missiles. These are not reasonable people to deal with. But CUPE Ontario is so progressive, they've come around to the other side and they're supporting like theocratic murderers. These people do not deserve any sort of sympathy whatsoever. And so in the description of this video, I am linking the petition to have Fred Hahn removed as the CUPE Ontario president. Even if CUPE Ontario doesn't want to do it, I think it's good for having tens of thousands of people around Canada sign a petition wanting the removal of this creep from power. This guy shouldn't be representing any workers, and I think if a worker is a part of CUPE, they should be disgusted that their organization is allowing for this dreck to be posted on social media platforms by an organization who supposedly cares about workers' rights. I guess it depends on if you're Jewish or not. I guess it depends on if you're Jewish or not, whether or not CUPE Ontario is going to care about your rights. Anyways, I also have my legal fund in the description of this video. I know there's bigger things going on around the world, although it does help me fight through this stupid lawsuit I'm in. If you can throw in $5, $10 into that, it really helps me out. It's the Give, Send, Go link in the description. Hopefully everyone has a good day, and I hope everyone in Israel remains safe, and the Israeli government gets as many as Hamas terrorists in the next month or so, as long as they keep fighting. Anyways, that should be it for me today. See you later, everyone.